Hi everyone, it's me, Happy Anderson with the Junk Gypsy, and I have another junk journal that I completed, so I'm going to do a flip through. You can find me on Instagram at Original Junk Gypsy, or my website is thejunkgypsy.com. So this one is another stuffed one. I don't ever intend them to be this stuffed, but I somehow can't control myself and just keep adding and adding and adding. So let's get through it. There is no specific theme. As always, I do an eclectic style. I think this one is actually called All the Things I Love because it was all the things that I love that I started putting in it. So there's a mix of new and old printables. I actually have been working diligently on my website, which is thejunkgypsy.com, to put up printables. Most of you might know this, but I already said it a couple of times. I accidentally deleted my entire website, so I've been having to build it back up. So while I don't have the thousands of files back up there now, there are some kits and some background papers, and I really have been working almost every day to put 3 or 4 files up. My mother has been ill, so I've been caring for her. So in between, I've been doing what I can do to put up on there. So hopefully, soon, there'll be a lot more. And I did start a Patreon because I had a few people asking me. And what I basically used Patreon for was I added a bunch of bonus content. So like, if I have a printable, I made several more printables to go with it. And there are some just exclusives there as well. And this is some little bling, because, you know, anybody that knows me knows I like a little bling. And this is a gold. This is an original postcard. There's so much ephemera in here. I do like some things to be discoverable for the buyer. So I'll flip through several of them. And I'm not going to say, like, you know, because this is a printable, I'm not going to say every single thing that's a printable. If you guys go to the website, and again, I'm adding stuff continuously. I will say that about 90% of what you see in here, I made and is a printable. But there are some original pieces in here as well. I just love this first page. There's nothing like a good first page, is there? Card. Pocket. And then you'll see a lot. I do this a lot too. This is actually was like this. I didn't do this, but it was an old children's book, and it had just I love the patina of that age. I love paper. Cute little embroidery. When we go to the antique stores and things, I have girlfriends, and you know, they'll start heading for the furniture. The first thing I'm like, you have any paper? And the people always are like, paper? And I'm like, yeah, paper. You have any paper, like old letters in it? Sometimes I do. That is a pocket. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, this is some handmade paper. I'm hoping to have some of that listed as well, because I do have quite a bit of it made up from, I spent the day at my mom's one day, and I took my decal and I just made paper all day. And but I did just order a ton of vintage embossing folders, and they're coming from overseas, so I don't suspect they'll be here for another couple weeks, but when they come, I will be making a lot. There were a bunch of retired Anna Griffin folders, and I didn't want to have to buy them to wait, but that's where I found them. I think it was Lyon, France is where they're coming from. I could be wrong, but And I also bought a ton of things from Postal Love. So, like way too much stuff if you ask my husband, probably. But I'm waiting for that as well. I probably close to 100 items I bought for her. Oh, I love these letters. It's like a vellum paper. And you can see through. And they're from the 50s. And it's a couple pages. I just embellished it. But the paper, it's like it's green, but it's yellow. It's like a yellowy green color. And there's something about it's really not that delicate, but it is delicate, you know. There's something about that I just love. Pocket, Farmer's Almanac. It's another pocket. Printable. I actually recently found the original of this. And guess what? I was organizing all my things and I have no clue where I put it now. I went back to look for it. So, anybody else do that? I mean, almost every day I decide that I need to be better organized and I redo everything. But at the end of the day, when I finish working on everything, everything's a big giant mess again. But I love it. I call it a pretty mess. I don't know why I'm struggling to do the pockets because they're not hard at all. It's a pocket. This is actually some, it's like some of the first when scrapbooking first came out. I found this lady and she was getting rid of, it was actually in an antique store. She wanted a bit much for it, but I thought it was, because it's really heavy. When they first started making scrapbook paper, it wasn't like thin paper. So I bought almost all she had. I bought a bunch, like, I think it was like 10 different big books that were unused. And I do use them, and this is a little collage work that I did. And I just love the way that looks. This is actually a pocket. I try to put the things on the outside when you first get it so you can actually, sometimes if they're all tucked in, you don't realize that they're all there. Another pocket on this side. This is like, again, vellum tissue paper. What this is I found, there's this antique store, and I think it was in Mississippi, like, but like some small little town in Mississippi. My girlfriend and I went antiquing one day, and this one little antique store that we literally made a wrong turn and ended up at. I bought so much stuff. I think I filled the whole back seat up with stuff I bought from there. But this lady had like, apparently she must have like loved to scrapbook because she had tons of like scrapbooking, and I bought a crocodile from there. I bought all kind of stamps from there. And I do have a lot of stamps, and I go through stamp phases. I'll use a bunch of stamps, and then I don't use stamps. But I actually haven't even used the stamps as a vintage. But, I bought those a lot from there, too. She had a bunch of vintage buttons. And we were going through my mom's things, and I recently found a ton of vintage buttons. So my latest series of journals that I made actually use a lot of those buttons, and they're beautiful. I think there's a pocket. Oh, there it is. There's a pocket right here. I need to speed myself up here. I'll be at this forever. Had some vintage wallpaper and some embossed paper. More embossed paper. Some vintage fabric. Oh, I love that card. I don't think that one's up yet, but I'll have to get it up because it's one of my favorite images. I have this thing for blues. A little more bling. I always wear just a little bit of bling. I found this amazing wallpaper. I keep saying I'm going to share it because I have an entire roll, but it's one of those hoarding things again. I try not to hoard, I really do. But sometimes I'm just like, I'll take it out. I'm like, I really don't know if I want to share that or not. But I'm at the point now where I am destashing. I actually have started listing. I think there's well over 50 books that I listed in the last couple of days alone. That's why I haven't been uploading as many files, because I'm trying to destash. I went from a pretty large house to a little small 2-bedroom cottage. Where was I? Right here. And I just don't have the room anymore, and I keep buying more things, so I really need to get rid of some things. Free them and set them free. Oh, this is more vintage wallpaper. Like I said, this thing is packed. There's probably enough ephemera in here to make several journals. But it's one of those things, when you start, you just can't stop. I so love journal making. It's embossed. That is a part of a printable too. This was a wedding dress that I acquired. I am very blessed in that I have amazing friends and family who know that how much I love doing this. And so they bring me things, and I've bought a few wedding dresses, but I was giving 2 wedding dresses. So there are several books that have them. When I made the one for my mom, the journal, my Love Not Gloria, I used part of a wedding dress in there. That's wallpaper too. That's a pocket. Oh, right here, this way. Pretty sure this is a pocket too. Yep. Excuse me. That's my tag. Just a flip page. And I actually put some colored gesso over this so you could write on it. Just a little collage. More collaging, some fussy cutting. It's a pocket. I love how I stitched all of that together. There was an envelope, just the back of that envelope. This is a printable. I just love these old graphics. There you go. All right, I have 1 minute left, so another letter. That's a pocket. Tag. Telegram. Another pocket. I told you guys this thing is packed. And of course, if it was me, I would go through and take out so much of this, put it to the side, and then use it as you fill the journal back up. Tag, a tag. Another tag. Tag. This is the back page. It's got 2 pockets. It's an embossed folder, and then this is the back. Thank you guys. You can find it at thejunkgypsy.com.